Setting boundaries, especially when you're new at it, can be very challenging. And when someone communicates what's aligned for them, it's important that those boundaries are honored. Coming back with additional requests, especially without even offering a form of exchange, support in a professional capacity, it unintentionally disregards the other person's boundaries in the professionalism of their work. And so these are all really important things for you to integrate, to meditate on for your life. Healthy containers, healthy spaces experience are built on mutual respect and reciprocity. And that's what keeps both people empowered and the work effective. To a transformed life, I am so delighted that you are here and you are ready to learn, grow, and elevate your life. So there is a topic I want to talk about and share with you today, and it has to do with alignment, value, and boundaries. Yes, the word boundaries. People can become debated when that word is used. And boundaries are multifaceted. And how I want to present this topic today is boundaries within ourself and then how they translate to others. So I'm going to share a personal story. I am going to change names on this story to keep the person's identity protected. I had a client, a pro bono client that I was working with, and we were a few months into our engagement, and I was sensing the week before just this underlying current that the value I was pouring into her was not being received. And I'm a fairly intuitive person. And so when I get these downloads or hits, I track with the energy. And so on a session that day, I asked her, how are you benefiting from these sessions? Are they bringing value to your life? Are they helping you navigate what you're dealing with? Are you receiving value from it? And her response was, yes. I tell my friends, I meet with my buddy once a week. And again, even though this was a pro bono client, this was a professional dynamic, a professional relationship, if you will. And my energy was feeling that correctly. And what I realized in that moment is that I had not conveyed and set a boundary within myself that was being felt by her. And this boundary was I was not valuing myself. I was not conveying that to her because what I heard back was, you're just a buddy. I'm just here for a session and you are pouring into me. And I want you to keep pouring into me because I'm going to take. Meanwhile, I'm feeling depleted because I am pouring into someone and treating them just as a high paying client and they aren't seeing that value. And so it wasn't a problem with them. It wasn't even a problem. So that's a misquote. It was a lack of a boundary from me. And so I went in and I was like, I have not conveyed my value clearly. I have not put a boundary around my value. I am always accessible. And so I really shored up that boundary. And this is the next thing, immediately. I didn't wait around. I didn't sleep on it. I didn't pray about it. If you're ever in a company of someone that says, oh, I'm just going to pray about it. Like, if you have to pray about it, you already know the answer, generally speaking. And so I took immediate action. I set up very clear boundaries to continue our coaching mentorship agreement. I knew money was a financial concern for her. And so I came up with ways that she can contribute and support my work and really receive the full value of what I was offering to her. Because the gift of reciprocity is so important. When someone is pouring into someone, how can you support them back? There's so many ways, especially with social media, phone, friends, networking. There's so many ways that you can give back that doesn't require an exchange of money. And money is simply energy. And there's a lot of reflections in what I'm going to share with you on this topic of boundaries and alignment, making fast decisions that are aligned. When you know the decision that you need to make, you make it quickly. And this is what high level CEOs, entrepreneurs, leaders, they don't wait around. They make the decision fast because money loves speed. So do boundaries and decisions. Decisions love speed too. So when you can act quickly in an aligned decision, you're going to move your life forward that much faster instead of sitting back and like, I'm just going to wait for it. And it could be a trauma response. I've certainly gone through that myself. I'm going to wait till tomorrow. I'm going to wait for the perfect timing because you have anxiety or overwhelm or a number of energetic patterns that could come up. Are they going to reject me? Are they going to ghost me? How are they going to perceive me? What are they going to think of me when I set these boundaries? And so I even had to work through a few of these when I reset this coaching container with this client and articulated very clearly what the new boundaries were moving forward. Because my time, my energy is sacred. It is absolutely valuable. And I'm going to speak that. I'm going to embody that. And that holds a high standard of care, not only for the person on the other side, but for me and my soul and all of my parts as well. And so I was really tapping into like, I need to articulate my value. So I came back to her with a new agreement of this is the new requirements moving forward. Part of the reflection I want to share with you today in these boundaries. So one of them was social media. There was a social media component to the new request, the new parameters, the new boundaries I set forth. And one of the answers I got back was, I might not remember. I might forget. And to do one social media post a week was the ask. And for the response to come back of, I might forget. So this is a coaching moment. If you're listening and watching this for yourself, when someone is coming back to you with a statement, I might forget, it signals this is not a priority for me. I don't value you. I don't value myself. I don't value your time. I don't value my time. I don't value your energy. I might forget. An aligned response would be this. I absolutely will post once a week on social media. I have had, past tense, a tendency to forget. And moving forward, I'm going to set an alarm for Tuesday at 10 a.m. to post something on social media because I value the coaching that I'm receiving from you. That would be an aligned response and taking ownership and responsibility for our life and the direction where we are going, and also an ability to respond to the person that has articulated the boundary moving forward. And when I read that comment, I knew immediately, once again, my energy was confirmed that this person was not valuing herself or even my time, my energy, my decades of experience and knowledge and wisdom to say, I might forget. And it's such a microcosm into someone's life. When you really want something, when something is really of value and importance to you, you're going to do whatever it takes to make that happen. So I'm going to pause here for a second and ask you a question. Where in your life are you using similar terminology? I might forget. And it might not be that exact quote, but something else where you are offloading responsibility onto someone else, or you are not taking responsibility and ownership for your life, the choices you're making, and you're not the author of your life. It's a very disempowered state to be in. How do you take your power back? This is a very tangible moment for you in your life. You take your power back by saying, I commit. I commit to making that social media post, to continue the coaching that I am so appreciative of. And I'm going to set an alarm for this date and this time. One example, I commit to loving myself no matter what. And that's a key word too. The 3 keywords, no matter what. I commit to showing up 100%, even on days I don't feel like it, and giving it my all, no matter what. I commit to holding my boundaries, no matter what. And this is all words and energetics that you are giving to the universe and to yourself, the self-care taker experiment, that you value your time. You are so committed to being the author of your life, that you're so committed to standing in your full power, in your autonomy, in your sovereignty. And it's such a beautiful gift. So I want you to take this to heart, that if there is, I might forget, how can you pivot that into a positive, empowering, take your power back statement in whatever you need to in your life? The next thing I want to mention about alignment and boundaries and value is that my time and energy is valuable. I treat myself as valuable. And when you start showing up with that energy and embodiment, the world around you responds as well. And whether I'm working with people or the activities I do, everything is very intentional. And it is such an important thing to remember, because we're always giving signals to the universe. And what signals are you giving to the universe? Are they aligned or misaligned? How can you direct them back to that North Star? And in terms of like boundaries, I'll continue on this unpacking this. It's like, I articulated my boundaries that I am making changes in the way I work moving forward. My alignment is going this direction. It also, if this is no longer aligned, it frees me up to work with people that are aligned. It frees me up, my schedule, my time, my energy to, run businesses and companies and startups, like whatever I am doing, it directs me and has a very clear boundary of where I am going. Again, how can you apply this to your life? Where are you spending energy and time that's not being invested back? And if you're just busy doing busy work, whether you're ruminating about a person, place, or thing, whether it's your schedule, just doing busy things instead of really dedicated tasks, that is all fragmented energy. And that contributes to this feeling of powerlessness, exhaustion, overextended, overwhelmed, stressed. And again, come back into harmony, into wholeness with yourself, release the judgments, have compassion for yourself, make adjustments immediately, especially like this, just the small minor adjustments. It's like a ship. The rudder on the ship is pointed just, 0.5 degrees off. You're not going to end up at the destination that you were headed to. You're going to end up in a totally different direction. And so this same analogy is for our life. If you're just off by a degree, you're not going to end up at the port of Miami. You could end up at the port of Cuba or New York City or, the coast of Maine. So it's really important that all of your boundaries and alignment and values is headed in one solid, firm direction. The other thing I want to talk about boundaries is that you will most likely be challenged on them. So boundaries aren't necessarily articulated in every situation. In some situations like this one, they were. I said, I made a very clear, like, I am making adjustments. I'm realigning things. This is the new agreement moving forward. So while I didn't use the word boundaries necessarily, I articulated that this is the new path I'm moving forward that is in alignment of where my life, where my vision is going, what I'm building, how I'm investing my time. There's a difference between investing your time and spending your time, really honoring the value within myself. I'm no longer settling for scraps. Just that is a clear boundary, no matter what. And so I received pushback on it. I articulated the boundaries, things were said on the back end, and even additional when I had even asked that this is what I require to move forward, to continue with the coaching and mentorship. This is what I require. And then again, they were very simple, easy asks. And this person came back, well, can you do this for me? And so I asked her, what is the exchange that you're thinking of for this? And there was no exchange. She didn't know how to answer that question. And once again, it confirmed that we were no longer in sync. And I knew it couldn't be a clear container to continue in that mentorship space with her because I would show up with resentment. I couldn't fully pour into someone who is not invested in their own personal growth. And we all start somewhere. And at this stage in her life, she is not ready to move forward in her personal growth and take ownership from the previous comment I mentioned of like, I'm going to forget. I might forget. Can you just do this for me? I know you asked this to continue and I need this, or I'm going to get it from someone else. So she is willing to get it from someone else, but she's not willing to invest in me. And so there was a major misalignment there. And so at that point, I paused and I said, I will get back to you tomorrow. And I got back to her the next day with a very clear directive of like, here is where I am at. These are my boundaries. And, I really provided her a very clear teaching moment. And I may even pull this up and read it to you because it is such it's such a pivotal work to do in your life where you can see boundaries being articulated as well as the pushback that you will receive, especially if you are new to boundaries. Like the universe is going to be like, is she really serious? Is he really serious about this? We're going to give her, him, her, whoever you are, opportunities to see how committed they are. And so this is some of what I want to share with you. I want to offer a bit of reflection. In my experience, when something is truly important to us, we will find a way to make it happen, whether it's finding a small amount of money or becoming creative with how we contribute. Even if social media isn't your thing, there are other ways to support my work, other people's work that could have been explored. It's the willingness to find a way is where your transformation begins. This was a beautiful practice for you to practice abundance and gratitude. When something is truly important to you, you will find a way no matter what. When we move from contraction or lack, saying can't, I don't have, may forget, or wanting someone else to carry the weight or even rescuing us, we intentionally, unintentionally, subconsciously reinforce the belief that we're powerless and a victim mentality. And I don't do victim mentality. And trust me, I've done a lot of work on that, which is why I don't subscribe to being the victim. I subscribe to being the author of my life, the author of my story, no matter how discouraging and defeating things feel. And I'm dealing with something right now that is extremely discouraging, defeating, and just like, how could this be happening? And yet it's coming back to what I Surrender Experiment by Michael Singer. If you haven't read that book, highly recommend it. But it's surrendering. But back to some reflections. True growth begins when we shift into the energy of possibility. I will find a way no matter what. I commit to making a way no matter what. When we move And that energy, it is so powerful. Even something as small as receiving $5, $1 a month becomes an act of self-worth, a declaration that says, I believe in myself enough to invest in my own evolution and growth and becoming. This puts you as the author of your life into your power, a world of possibilities versus a victim and living in lack, contraction, and scarcity, as well as the energetics of needing to be rescued, saved, grabby, clingy, helpless, and scared. So these are all energetic patterns that I work with that are all underneath the real issue. So the real issue under may forget, it's not, the problem is it may forget. The problem underneath is that she didn't have the self-worth, the self-value of herself to believe that she is worthy of the investment. And so it's the energetics that are so important, whether you are running $100 million company or whether you are looking for coins in the couch. Same energetics apply, and then there's also a lot of expectations out there that people will continue to give without reciprocity. And my work doesn't come from obligation. It comes from devotion. And for it to stay in integrity, it must flow both ways. I require it. Growth always asks us to stretch beyond what is comfortable. And for me, holding this boundary is what self-love truly looks like. It's not about painting my nails or taking bubble baths. It's standing firm in what's right, in what's aligned. And when someone is pulling me back into an old energetic pattern, I will not allow that, because protecting my time, my energy, integrity, my value, my worth is how I keep my work and myself healthy. Because health is a mind, body, spirit, holistic, plural, energetic modality. So what I would like to leave you with today, a request that comes from self-value, such as, I really appreciate your mentorship and want to support you in your mission. I will XYZ, giving ways that you can support someone else. That is the energetic receiving, and it's the flow currency back and forth. And when there's that ebb and flow, when you're being poured into and when you're supporting the other person's work and their mission, that is how we expand healing and growth. If it's a one-way street, that street, guess what? It's a one-way street with a dead end. And it's going to be, if everything's flowing to one end, guess what? It's going to be a backlog because it can't get through to the other person. And so when we realize that something is not working, when something is misaligned within ourselves, and we articulate that to someone else, it is such pivotal work for ourselves. And it's hard. I will acknowledge sometimes setting boundaries, especially when you're new at it, can be very challenging. And when someone communicates what's aligned for them, it's important that those boundaries are honored. Coming back with additional requests, especially without even offering a form of exchange, support in a professional capacity, it unintentionally disregards the other person's boundaries in the professionalism of their work. And so these are all really, really important things for you to integrate, to meditate on for your life. Healthy containers, healthy spaces experience are built on mutual respect and reciprocity. And that's what keeps both people empowered and the work effective. So I hope, these teachings are beneficial for you in your journey, in your growth, in your evolution. And setting boundaries within ourselves is first and foremost. What boundaries do you need to set within yourself? Are there voices? There's probably more than one. Are they speaking negative things to you? Set a boundary with them. I see you, I hear you, I understand you, and I'm no longer willing to engage in the disrespect of myself. And what do those parts need? They need love, compassion, curiosity. Internal family systems work is extremely helpful. It's the inner child work. Again, combining it with the energetics as well. And letting those aspects and parts of you know that they're seen and they're heard and they're valued. And you're going to value yourself by, guess what? You don't get to talk shitty to me anymore. I understand that you want to do your own thing, and we are moving in an aligned direction with our life moving forward. So we're not going to engage in those destructive behaviors, thoughts, habits, whatever is plaguing your life that is causing you distress. And you set boundaries with those aspects and parts in a very loving, caring way. I commit to valuing myself no matter what. I commit to living in the frequency of having no matter what. And when you set those boundaries internally, watch your 3D world change, because everything is a reflection back to, it's a mirror, it's a reflection back to us. So if you want to know what's happening internally, look around you, because it is a reflection, most likely, of what is happening inside. And you can begin to be a systems hacker of like, oh, I need to set a boundary there. Really good to know. I need to realign myself. This is reflecting back to me. Just like this client reflected back to me that I was not articulating and embodying my value, my worth that I know I have. It was a really good wake-up call for myself of like, oh, I need to really embody my value, my worth, my knowledge, my wisdom, my experience, all of it. And that sets the standard for your life. Let me know how this lands for you. What are your takeaways? I would love to hear from you as you're listening to this episode. This is sponsored in part by Heal Thy. If you're watching on YouTube, you can see the sign behind me, but Heal Thy is my latest startup. It is helping you and guiding you to build one healthy habit every 30 days. And I'll include the link below where you can get this innovative product where it's a deck of cards, where it just guides you to build one healthy habit, and it includes a free coaching group as well. So this latest startup is bringing and making personal growth a tangible product into retail spaces. So if you know of any retail stores that would like to carry this product, please reach out to me as well. I'd love to hear from you as well. I am taking a cue from David Guyam. He always closes his episodes with a mantra, and they are so powerful. I am doing the same. So it's a subconscious mantra. They are deeper than just affirmations. So affirmations don't always work because the subconscious is like, yeah, I don't believe that. And so we can rewire the subconscious mind through lined subconscious statements. And so if you just want to, if you're not driving, if you're in a safe place, you put your hand over your heart, feet on the floor if you can. Maybe you're listening outside, taking a walk, put your hand on a tree. Listen to these words and let them marinate into your vessel. I am the keeper of my capacity. My no is love for both of us. Alignment is my promise, and I keep it. I release the urge to rescue. I choose care over critic, clarity over chaos. My body is safe when I set a boundary. I honor my word to me today and again tomorrow. So as you breathe in, let those words sink into your soul. And I will include this mantra as a reel and as a short on YouTube and Instagram, so you can come back and read it. I'll also put it in the show notes below so you can copy and paste it as well. And just kind of repeat this mantra to yourself as you are implementing and establishing boundaries for yourself and ultimately with those around you. And it is really great work. It's powerful work. You step into your power when you are firm with your boundaries. And this is how You be confidence. You aren't doing confidence. You be confidence. You be power. And it starts with creating boundaries within ourselves, loving yourself no matter what, honoring your word, honoring yourself, treating yourself internally and externally with the utmost care, love, respect, honor, how you eat, what you drink, your daily movement, your how you set up your day. Is it with intention? And this all goes back to the episode last week where we talked about the self-caretaker experiment. How would you tell someone else to take care of you? And that's why that experiment is so amazing, because it ties right into boundaries. And that's why I wanted to talk about boundaries and alignment and value. When you value yourself, you can articulate to someone else exactly how you like things, exactly how you want to be treated. If someone is treating you like shit, you are probably treating yourself like shit. And so when you want to be treated as the remarkable human you are, start elevating your boundaries with yourself and watch your life change. Thank you so much for joining me. I really appreciate it. Make sure you leave a 5-star review. Platforms, if you're on Spotify or Apple, I would greatly appreciate it. That is one way you can support my work, because there are no paid sponsors for this podcast. It is me bringing you this content because I believe in it and how it can change the world and your life. And you can make sure to follow me on Instagram, Hope Rose Speaks. And if you're on YouTube watching this, please give this channel a subscribe. I would love to have many more followers on this channel as I grow this platform to big, bold, beautiful, amazing things. Have a beautiful day, and I will see you next